Welcome to Stonewatch. Today we're talking about Disney's Gallery Mandalorian Season 2. And if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button and click on that bell so you can notify for future videos. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And yes, I just got done watching Disney's Gallery Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. And I gotta say, this episode was just so damn awesome. So damn awesome. Now, back in December 25th of 2020, we got the first episode of the second season of Disney's Gallery for Mandalorian Season 2, where I pretty much had all the behind-the-scenes footage and interviews with the cast and crew. Now, unlike the first season of Gallery, where it was stretched out into 8 episodes, this one was only 1, and it covered the whole entire making of the second season, except for the last 5 minutes, last episode for Season 2, and that was probably one of the biggest scenes in Star Wars history that we've seen in quite some time. I mean, after an 8-episode build-up, we got to see it was Jedi Master himself, Luke Skywalker, was the Jedi who answered Grogu's call from Chapter 14 in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Now, in the second episode of the Gallery, we get confirmation that Mark Hamill himself comes back to reprise his role as Luke Skywalker. Well, kinda. I mean, there was a lot of CGI involved to make him look younger. They hired a young actor to play as a body double for him, because let's face it, at 69 years old, Mark Hamill looks like he's 69 years old. Now, the kid that they get to play his body double is played by Max Lloyd-Jones. Now, I gotta say, this kid looks a lot like a young Mark Hamill, probably even more so than Sebastian Stan. Not really sure. You take a look. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I do have to say, one of the many things I found fascinating in this second episode of the Gallery is we find out exactly how long they've been playing this Luke Skywalker appearance. I mean, if I understood it correctly, they've been talking to him since the beginning of the series. They see if he was cool with it, see if he would go along with it, and of course figure out how they were actually going to do it. Now, was another thing that was cool in this episode, we have Favreau breaking down the 3 different ways they can actually bring Luke Skywalker back. Now, there was the total CGI thing that they used in Rogue One to bring back Moff Tarkin, and then there's the de-aging process they've been mainly using in the MCU movies, for Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, and there's that deep fake stuff that's out there. Now, in this episode, we meet Landis Fields, who is the virtual production visualization supervisor over at ILM. Now, he's the one who was working on the deep fake stuff for Luke, and for whatever reason, they decided to go with the de-aging process instead for the episode. Now, shortly after the episode dropped and we all saw it, I have to admit, what they did use was kind of wonky at first, but it wasn't on there for very long, so I was okay with it. It didn't really bother me. And if it was going to be like a whole entire episode, then it probably would have been kind of like a little bit of a problem. But anyway, there was this YouTuber who goes by the name of Shamook. Now, he's made quite a name of himself online by going in and fixing other people's CGI work. Now, he's did stuff for the Tarkin and Rogue One. He did something for Harrison Ford for the Solo movie, and he just put Ewan McGregor on a Alec Guinness body in A New Hope. And then he also took Sebastian Stan and did a deep fake with him as a young Luke Skywalker. I'll have a link for his videos down below if you want to check that out for yourself. It's quite impressive, and so impressive so that Lucasfilm went out and hired him, right? Because he did that deep fake for the Luke scene from Mandalorian Season 2, and everybody went bonkers over there. Why couldn't they have done this? This is awesome. Well, Lucasfilm went out and hired the man. So now he works for Lucasfilm and probably making a pretty damn penny too, right? I mean, this deep fake stuff is actually pretty damn scary when you stop and think about it, but at the same time, it's also really, really fascinating, right? Now, I thought it was kind of funny because everybody was telling the story in this episode that they were not allowed to say the words Luke Skywalker. Even in the script, they had it to where the Jedi who was supposedly going to show up at the end of Season 2, they had it written down as Plo Koon, because that's one of Filoni's favorite Jedi, so they picked Plo Koon. Never mind the fact that he died in Episode 3 in that horrendous starfighter crash, right? I mean, come on. I mean, there's no way they really could have spun that saying he survived that. There's just not going to happen. So I'm kind of glad they didn't actually really go that route, because it would have looked really weird. I mean, they even went so far as like made up the CGI head that they put on top of Luke's body to make it look like that's who was the Jedi that came at the end of the show. And we get that awesome story from Filoni when he tells us about when he was talking to Jon Favreau, when he said, if you get Luke Skywalker, you get R2-D2 too. And he said the look in Jon Favreau's eyes was the look of a kid back when he was like 6 or 7 years old when he first saw Star Wars. And it was just like, even when he came on set, you could see the little kid. He said everybody on set, you could see the little kids in their eyes as they're seeing their idol, Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, on set. I mean, I admit that would be so awesome. Now, there's a lot of people I've been seeing that are crying when they see this scene. Now, I understand like it's an emotional thing. It's really cool. I mean, Luke Skywalker is one of my most favorite characters in movies, TV shows. ever. I mean, I have read every single old EU book that you can possibly imagine, at least 10 times each. At least. You know, I'm a huge old expanded universe fan, and I'm a little bit a fan of like the new stuff, but there's not as much Luke Skywalker in the new stuff as it is in the old EU. So, I mean, that's what I was kind of hoping they were going to bring into the sequels. They were going to bring a lot of the stuff that we read in the old EU books, but they didn't. But that's a topic for a whole nother video. So that's why I really, really love this Mandalorian episode. I'm really glad that they did this deep dive into that episode, showed us how they did it, I mean, everything. This thing was so kick-ass. So, I don't know, man. Did you watch Disney's Gallery Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2 about Luke Skywalker? Let me know in the comments down below. How cool was it to actually see that Mark Hamill was on set to reprise his role as Luke Skywalker again? I don't know, man. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.